Manager. I've known RJ for over 20 years. He's a man of action. He's the kind of guy who rolls up his sleeves and gets the job done. With his proactive nature, he's gotten to positions like Vice President of Chamber of Commerce and two-time President of the Kiwanis Club. This is the kind of man we need on the board. So without further ado, my good friend, RJ Renna.
So, first off, I'd like to thank John. John and I go way back, about 20 years now, that poor guy. We went to Our Lady of Perpetual Help School together, and John, as the campaign manager, has played a key role in getting this campaign going, and so have the rest of the Renna4Lindy committee. Everybody here has done so much to get us on the ballot, to get signs out, and to get people involved. And we really appreciate that. Let's give everybody here a round of applause. You know, I got to tell you, in dealing with people, walking around and talking, everybody always wants to know what the vision is and what the plan is. And that's why we're here today, is because I have a vision and I have a plan for our downtown and for our community. A vision that I want to become a reality. And with everybody's help here, I know on March 15th, we're going to carry home a victory. When we go ahead and we're going to start making our downtown what we need it to be. So, when it comes to a vision, there's a lot of components that go into it. What do we want? I represent the millennial generation. We're young. And we want a downtown. We want a vibrant downtown with restaurants. We want little boutiques. We want shops. We want coffee places. We want acoustic nights on Friday nights and wine. We want to taste and we want to try and we want to love our downtown. And we have to make that happen because we're going to be living in this community for a while. And I want to keep everybody living in this community. There's no reason to go. We have everything that we need in Lindenhurst. We just have to make it possible. The whole downtown has all the parts of the recipe that we need. Everything's there. We just need to make it happen. That proactive nature can make anything possible. And this is the first step. Now is the time to do it. Because it starts now, and we'll see the results in 10 years. It took that long in Patchogue, takes that long in Bayshore, and look at how well those places are doing.
There we go.
So
that's right.
There we go. So what are we going to start with? We're going to start with our downtown. That's where we need to start. You know, big part of it is we want an attractive downtown. We want a place that's appealing. We want somewhere that looks nice. You know, and when you go through our downtown, unfortunately, right now it doesn't. With 17 vacant stores, with blighted properties, it's not appealing. And it should be, and we need to make it appealing. And as a village board, we have the ability to enact ordinances and blight summonses. And we want to be able to go to these people and say, listen, you need to clean up your property. You need to make it right. You have an obligation to the people in this community to make it look good. To all the taxpayers here who live here, it should look good. And we give them some time. And we want them to make it look good because when you sell your house, you make your house look good. You do the cosmetic work, you know, because you want it to sell. So that's what we need to do. We need to work on an attractive appeal for our businesses in our downtown. Because too many landlords are filing a loss here in Lindenhurst, and it's not acceptable. Besides that, we need to make it easy for businesses to establish. How many times have I heard that businesses went to the village and they had a hard time? Or that the paperwork was difficult, or they weren't really properly helped? When somebody comes to our village, they should be fast-tracked into getting their business up and running. Kind of like when you go to Disney, you know? You got to get the fast pass. You want to get to the front of the line, we want to get it done. We want to get businesses in here. And when they come to our village, they should sit down with a representative from the Chamber of Commerce, a representative from the Business Improvement District, and a representative from the village. And we should outline every single thing that they need to succeed. And we should provide them with the tools so that they can succeed. Because right now we're not doing that, and we're failing. The other thing, a major problem that we have, and we all know it, is parking. You drive through our downtown, there's nowhere to park. So you keep going. You drive on. You're just going to get it at Walmart or Kmart or wherever you go, maybe Target. So you don't stop in our downtown. You don't utilize our shops. And that kills our local business owners. So we need to develop a long-term parking plan that's going to help our downtown, that's going to allow people to park, to utilize our businesses. And that starts with obtaining property behind our business district. Our business district is directly backed by residential. We need to begin to obtain that property so we can put parking lots there. because we have an obligation to businesses that come here to create the atmosphere so that they can succeed. And we're failing at that too. You know, all this political stuff and all these talks and walking around and dealing with people and talking to local businesses, we often forget about the people that are not right in the downtown. The people that are on Montauk Highway. They're part of our community too. The businesses that are there. There are some businesses there that are thriving, and they're dependent on the residents of Lindenhurst to keep them thriving. And I gotta tell you, I don't understand. You drive towards Copeg, there's beautiful lights once you start getting to Copeg. You drive towards Babylon, there's beautiful lights once you get to Babylon. What happened in Lindenhurst? I'll tell you what happened. They just stopped. You know, actually they didn't even stop, they just didn't even start. They didn't start to do the right thing. And we failed there too. We failed to help the businesses that have developed in our community. The other thing about Montauk Highway is the people that are south of it. How many people were devastated by Hurricane Sandy? The people who had to pick up and leave. The people who had to raise their homes. The people who had to reinvest in the community so that they could stay here. And what happens now? It floods. Every time it drizzles, it floods. And that's a problem. These people's streets are flooding, their basements are flooding. So now the people who have been devastated and who have been hurt and decided that they love Lindenhurst enough to stay or had no other options are here and they're still getting beat up. And we have an obligation to those residents who are taxpayers to do the right things, to build up a sewer plan that's sufficient, to come up with a plan that's going to prevent flooding in their streets, that's going to prevent flooding in their area. And we failed there too. Obviously this is all going to cost money. It's foolish to think that this isn't going to cost money. But don't just put a number on it and say it's going to cost money, so that's why we can't do it. Let's come up with a plan. Let's investigate. Let's figure out how we can do it. Yeah, it's going to be hard. This campaign, everything about it, has been an uphill battle. But we're making it work. We're making it happen. And the reason why is because we are people who care about our community. And we have the determination to make this community great. The determination to make this community what we want it to be. So, we're just 23 days away from the election. 23 days. On March 15th, the village residents of Lindenhurst are going to walk into the ballot box, and the first time in probably 12 years, they're going to have an option. No, it's okay. You have to go for me, you're my niece. So, for the first time in 12 years, residents of Lindenhurst are going to have a choice. A new choice. There'll be some old names, there'll be new names. And I want you to consider your power in this election. I want you to consider your ability to make a change with that vote. We need you. I need you. This community needs you. So on March 15th, vote Renna4Lindy for the future of our downtown, for a better Lindenhurst. Thank you all for coming.